Tim showed you a slide earlier today from the Aberdeen group that said companies that are deploying or about to deploy innovative technology, such as unified communications, will more likely succeed in providing productive user experiences and better customer services. And at Siemens, we absolutely endorse that approach. However, you need to make sure that your technology that you're deploying, the people that are going to drive that technology, and your business processes are harnessed to be able to deliver that desired result. And that's quite a challenge, because what those stats don't tell you is how you deliver that harmony. Yeah? And from experience, we see organisations deploying technology to solve very real problems and deliver their visions, but they forget to take the users with them. So the users have the technology, but they don't know how to use it in the most effective way. And you only have to look at sort of BlackBerries and giving people BlackBerries. Typically, there's two ends of the spectrum for BlackBerry users. Yeah? They're either use the device as a mobile phone and only as a mobile phone, or they become a slave to email. And there is a balance in between, and we need to be able to strike that balance, but that's quite difficult to achieve. I'm delighted to be able to describe to you today, in a very high-level profile, of our UC Ambassador Programme. And this has come about by absolutely tackling that problem of how we get users on the journey to utilise the technology that clearly businesses are now beginning to deploy and get the maximum out of it. Okay? And we've been doing it for about 14 to 18 months with customers in both the public and private sector. And the results that we're having have been remarkably encouraging. And we follow a very simple model. See if I can do this. The left-hand side, we've got the user training, be that technical or user, okay? But we changed the emphasis on this training. It's now not about only how you use the technology, it's how you apply it in your workplace. The technical training is very much about how to configure, install, run the operation. The user side is a lot more different now. We will give users a plethora of tools and expect them to be able to use them and automatically apply those tools to their daily jobs. What we do in Siemens is we actively make that link with the tools, how to use them, and how to apply them in their job. And the way we do that is marked on the right. The first part is the change program. This is where the UC Ambassador comes in. The first element is about telling your users why the technology is important, why you've invested in it, and more importantly, the role that they, each as individuals, have to play to ensure the success of your organisations going forward. And so if that's obviously in the travel industry, it's all about the customer experience and giving them the information that they need at the time they need it to be able to, if you like, make their own decisions of whether to stay in an airport or stay in a station or go away for an hour and come back an hour later. Through the change program, we also create these change agents, which are your own people in your own organisations that become advocates of this new way of working. Not about the technology, but about this new way of working. And we use them to promote the new tool set and to make that alignment between an off-the-shelf technology to something that is actually branded in your organisation that you could use. But at the same time, we take the intelligence that those key individuals have and use that to shape the user training. So typically in a unified communications environment, just to give you an example, we typically have 4 user profiles. And they range from people who sit at the desk most of the time to people who never have a desk and are very much like some of the videos you've seen where they're travelling around all the time, very mobile. and we tailor the training to those individuals. And typically what we're looking for is about 4 key things that those users can take and use directly they leave the training, or and basically put to good use. They master those components, and then they're encouraged to go forward and do more with it. The embrace side of things is to say, once you've received the training and the awareness, it doesn't stop then. We've got to keep actively promoting and keep evolving the story. And we do that with a raft of tools, online most of them, be that web collaboration portals where people can go in and find out who else in the organisation is using a particular application or a particular tool, and how they're using it, how they're getting on, how they're getting the most out of it. But also about quick quizzes and things that you could do that are good fun. And we try and make this technology fun to be able to use going forward. And this all comes together in our UC program. Right. Underpinning this are the 5 key stages of a process. The first one is priming our users to change, preparing for change. Now this is, again, yes, about the awareness program, but it's about actively engaging your key people in organisations to become our change agents. Most organisations, when it's a technology, tend to give it to the IT department to promote. That's not always a good thing. Okay, we want the people that are a bit averse to change, because if we can convince them, then they're the people that will really promote the technology and show that it's not as hard and as obstructive as people may fear. We align our products, our technology, with your organisation, and that comes together in the way that we train. Okay, the embrace, actively supporting these users at every stage of this approach, so they are not sheep-dipped in one training plan and then left to get on with it, okay? Because we know that never, ever achieves the right results. And then the final 2 are all about promoting the change and keeping that constant evolving process to cross-check and make sure that you are doing the right things. And when you see the things like creating groundswells, using your own users as testimonials to say how they're using the technology and how it's enabling them to do what the company has invested in the technology to do. And it doesn't matter whether it's technology on a technical bent or if it's the users who occasionally work part-time. It's an all-encompassing thing, and it crosses from a person who's an administrator right through to a contact centre agent. It covers the whole piece. So, in summary, we believe we've put together a program which endorses the technology that we're promoting and advocating as an organisation, and it is linked to the users. It's linked to the behavioural change. Unified communications, or the technology such as social media, is a change in the way that people go around communicating and the way they control it. And people will slowly adopt it, but we can accelerate that process and make them become advocates. Okay. With every one of our solutions now, we factor in the UC Ambassador program to help work with you and with our customers to help them make that transition. The training, the support services around those training are bespoke. We base it on scenarios that are relevant for the sector, the vertical sector, or the particular business to make it relevant. Okay. All of the people that you've seen today are all using the latest technology and have been for some time. So they can, when they talking to your own people, we can talk from experience, something that we have experienced, the things we like, the things we don't like. And finally, as a manufacturer, I think it's fair to say we're all passionate about making advocates of this technology and how it can solve so many problems, but in order to do that, you've got to get the users to believe.